Why we're here on the Good Rep Media channel. Hey guys, welcome to the Good Rep Media Lunch with the Boys. My name's Cody, joined by Jordan. We are here today to talk about something kind of interesting. Is Amazon ruining Christmas? This is our headline. We want to, the world's burning down, everything's on fire. Amazon's ruining Christmas. They are the Grinch. I've watched them actually burn your house down, steal your Christmas tree. They did indeed steal all of the ham everywhere. There's no more
Bezos
ham.
is gonna shut this podcast down.
Could you imagine?
We
Like we get a
copyright
cease and
from Jeff
desist from
Bezos.
Amazon.
That'd be crazy. It wouldn't
It
be
would.
coming from Bezos
No, directly from Bezos.
himself.
Bezos's letterhead.
He serves us himself. He
That's
just
how
shows up with
angry
a
he is when
manila envelope.
our outcry, our audience is just too big. Our influence is too great. Our influence is over 9,000. But with that said, in general, I don't want to get too deep into anti-Amazon rhetoric. I think there's a lot of anti-Amazon rhetoric that you can get into. I more so wanted to mainly, I don't know, get the idea across. I hate shopping for all my Christmas presents online. So for Christmas shopping, did you do all of your Christmas shopping? You were just talking about it beforehand. You're mostly finished, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Would you say that you did all of your shopping on Amazon?
No.
No?
But that's because you can't get event tickets on Amazon. There was
Okay.
various things that I couldn't get on Amazon. I had specific gift ideas I wanted to get, and those couldn't
hmm
be gotten on Amazon.
I
Everything else was purchased on Amazon.
Yeah, so I guess concert and venue tickets, if you're going to be doing an activity that's a little bit different until Amazon gets into events. But
Which I actually, you know what? I'm shocked that they're not.
well, they
Uh,
already do everything. They're probably going to get there
Well, I think
eventually.
they have their own events they do for like Amazon Prime Television and stuff like that. I know they have
Hmm.
concerts and stuff that were only on Amazon. I think Kendrick Lamar did one at the Kia Forum and stuff like that.
Yeah, where they'll do specific events for their own shows. I know they'll do show releases. What's the when they release a brand new show and they show it for the first time, all the
Premiere.
celebrities premiere?
Yeah.
Boom. I know they'll do premiere events and stuff like that, which is always super cool. But this is much more like a concert, I'm assuming, is what
Yeah.
you're buying for.
Yes. Well, it was a comedy show.
Mm. What comedy show?
Nate Bargatze.
I do not recognize that name even slightly.
He's
What
got
what genre?
he's got a bunch of specials on Netflix. He's kind of family friendly.
Okay.
He doesn't he's not super crude or anything. He's kind of a family man. He talks a lot about his wife and kids and stuff like that. My mom
Oh,
loves him, and he is really funny. He is really funny.
okay.
But he's really good because my mom doesn't like crude comedy, so I was like, oh, he's in Grand Rapids. I was like, it seems perfect.
Yeah, I will say I think if Amazon could, I think they'd want a piece of that. But my whole thought process is generally if you are buying things online, there's this whole idea in economics that you are spending money and that money is not going to your community. So if you are from, for example, Grand Rapids, Granville, surrounding area like we are, and you go out and you shop at Mochi Nut, you go to Horrocks, and you spend money at these local places that are not necessarily chains, that money is getting distributed to your local community. So when I go and I spend $20 at Horrocks, that $20 is going into Horrocks, being paid out to their employees, and then going back in and being spent again in Grand Rapids. What that does is that $20 that I just spent at Horrocks goes to pay one of their employees. That employee goes and they're going to go use it at Taco Bell. That Taco Bell is going to use that money to pay their employees. And that money, as it gets used repeatedly, funds our city taxes. And so when you're spending all of that money is staying in the area. That $20 I spent at Horrocks is going someone else in Grand Rapids who's going to spend it in Grand Rapids, as opposed to when you spend on Amazon or when you spend online and you're sending that money to someone out there. Now, some of it does come back, some of it comes back, but
It's tough for you mentioned bigger brands, bigger
yeah.
name, Clorox, Taco Bell, things like that. Those are places that I almost view it's paying those places is a lot like buying things online, because it's not because you shop at a Meijer in Grand Rapids doesn't mean that your dollar is going into the wallet of those employees in Grand Rapids. It's still
Mhm.
going to some account that is, well, that's gonna be in Grand Rapids because that's where my headquarters is. Bad example, but like,
I was gonna say
but,
we're
so, but like, okay, someone in Detroit,
mm,
or Ohio, somewhere that like is far away from it, like they still spend money. Like those people are going to get paid regardless because those people are also getting paid from the people who made purchases in Grand Rapids. Like it's a little less local when you don't talk about smaller businesses. When you're talking about big businesses, I personally view it very like equivocal to making
yeah.
it around.
Would you consider, so for those of you who don't know, who are new here, and this is maybe an interesting topic to get into, do you think is Horrocks a chain? And maybe Mel,
I
who's
don't even really
listening
know what
here, if
Horrocks
we can get
is.
our
Like
producer to
I've
Google
only
it.
heard it. I've never been to one. I don't know
Yeah.
anything about it. So
I'm like very, I'm pretty sure that they're not, but we can do a Google real quick because Horrocks is one of the places that I go to quite a lot. It's a nursery for plants. It's also like a grocery store combo with a like brewery, and
so
it's
okay, I thought it was a grocery store. If I'm being honest, like
oh yeah, no, no, no.
I thought it was like a grocery store.
Let me
So
give you a rundown of what Horrocks is because it's kind of insane. And if you've never been, you should go, especially if you're doing Christmas shopping. And that's why I bring it up. Mel, if you can look, I would like to know if Horrocks is a local place because the main point I'm getting across is okay, so you're right in Taco Bell because the profits Taco Bell gets are going to Taco Bell. They're going to corporate executives. They have a corporate structure that exists outside of Grand Rapids, as opposed to Horrocks, which I do believe they're local. And if they're not, forgive me, but I'm using them as a local example.
can
The
you
owners
spell
live
it
here.
out really quick because like I'm
Horrocks
okay.
apostrophe S.
I just wanted to be sure because if Mel is searching it just by hearing it, I'd be like, that's probably going to be a tough one to search if it's not like a big chain.
That's fair. But yeah. So what I'm thinking is the owner of Horrocks lives in the area. So the profits from Horrocks are being spent in the area. When you have a small business owner, and I think this is the main point we try to get across here at Good Rep Media, when you're a small business owner, you're giving back to your community. When you spend, if you're a massage therapist, you have someone come in, they pay you for your service. You take that money, you go and spend it at the community. If that person who came in and paid you works at another small business, there's an exchange here where you can basically be like, hey, I'll give you a massage therapy, I'll give you a series of massages, and you can fix my car. And that exchange is like community, and I'm here for that.
I called
And
it.
she couldn't spell it. I assume that it's something that's pretty well known in my head. So Wolfgang's is another one here in Grand Rapids. Beltline Bar is another one. Horrocks is one of those places that's a Grand Rapids staple. And I think a lot of different cities. If you're here, if anyone here is from Grand Rapids in the comments or anything like that, I'd love to hear any staples that you have. Or if you're in any city, let us know a staple that you've got. But in Grand Rapids, Horrocks is one of those. Wolfgang's is the breakfast joint. Beltline Bar is the like lunch brunch spot for Mexican food. And then you have Horrocks, which is literally like a plant nursery with a brewery and a coffee shop and an ice cream shop and a grocery store all in one.
I've
It's like
never been
a
to I've never been to any of these locations that you just listed as Grand Rapids.
no.
Yeah.
Okay, so Horrocks is family owned and operated local business, but it has 27 locations. So it's a pretty far out there. Are all 27 locations in Michigan, or are they like Midwest, like Meyer?
Hearing Clorox. Yeah, see, like I was picturing that, but with like an H and no L. Like like HOROX.
Horrocks without like Clorox. That's
Yeah,
funny,
yeah.
actually.
Like that's why I was like, this might be harder to spell. Like I'm sure to you, like thinking about you've seen it so many times, it's like it's
Mhm.
Horrocks. It's spelled just like it sounds. And it's like, well, it sounds like it's spelled 13 different ways.
Yeah, which actually, so one sec. How long have you've not been in Grand Rapids for very long, right? You've been here, well, I mean, what, couple 5 years, 6
5 years,
years?
5 years, 5, 6 years.
Yeah, but mind you, you also came COVID. So let's be
Yes.
real.
Right before
Getting
COVID.
around and
Literally
like
right before
experiencing
COVID.
Grand Rapids in those first couple of years of COVID is not great.
And
Um,
Beltline's been on my like I want to go to Beltline. It's one that's been on my list of places to go for a while.
honestly, you should. The main thing to keep in mind is it's relatively cheap.
Yeah.
So like you can go and you're going to get good food every single time and it's going to be relatively affordable.
Yeah.
When I meet clients or when I do anything locally, like when I meet Mikey, some of my fellow like agency friends and people that I know in the industry, we'll go to Beltline Bar because you can get a lunch burrito for like $8.
Yeah.
And it's like a big burrito.
Wish it wasn't all the way across town. I'd go get some for lunch today.
I was gonna say it's a little bit far for me. Well, I say a little bit far. It's like 5 miles down the road. It's
Yeah,
straight
but it's
shot.
on a busy road.
Yeah. Which I mean, hey, those are the little bit of differences though when you're looking at a local like restaurant. Because now I'm curious about hey, Beltline Bar. Maybe there's a whole bunch of them, but
I don't think there is. It's
I don't think
Beltline
there is.
Bar. Well,
Yeah.
it's not on Beltline either, though, so that's where it gets a little confusing.
So that being said, when you're spending that money locally, I think it's a lot better in general. And so when we talk about Amazon stealing Christmas, it's more so these online shops kind of outsourcing Christmas. And I'll be real, shopping for Christmas presents on Amazon or doing this online shopping is a lot different than going out in person. Like, did you ever do any of the go out and like spend a day Christmas shopping in stores? Was that
Yeah,
something you ever
yeah.
did?
I mean, I've done my fair share of like back when Black Friday shopping was like really what Black Friday shopping was. Oh, what the?
Ooh,
Did I just do that? How'd that just
I
happen?
think I think I clicked and highlighted a comment.
That's
Ooh,
kind of cool that you can do that. I like that a lot. That was cool.
yeah.
Look at
Mel
that.
said, "From what
Oh,
I see online, I think it's only in Michigan. I know we don't have one in Illinois." Dang. Okay, so Horrocks is a little bit local. So be it. So be it. What you were saying?
I don't know. I got so distracted by that cool little pop up. Um,
Small businesses, Amazon, buying things online, shopping in person, going out and
Oh,
buying just
I've
literally.
done like my fair share of Black Friday shopping and stuff when
Mm,
Black Friday shopping was as big as it was. Um, but like, and I've definitely done like shopping with my parents and stuff when I was a kid. Since then, I've not really gone. No, I've pretty much as an adult, I have done online shopping every Christmas. And I think,
well,
like, I want to hurry up and say, I disagree. Like, I understand where you're coming from, and you have very valid points about like it kind of not, there is a problem with the money not coming back to the community and everything. But my Christmas shopping, the money was never going back to the community, anyways. I was always buying at bigger corporations, like, Meyer, Walmart, Best Buy, things like that, So that was never really an issue for me. And on top of that, Amazon has made buying gifts so much more affordable.
yeah.
To me, it's almost saved Christmas because I never used to be able to get good gifts for people because they were just too expensive or I couldn't go get them or anything like that. And now it's like everything is available and at the lowest price.
Yeah. And I'll be real. So that's one of the issues that I almost see because you're right, it is more affordable. But when you're buying direct from, a Chinese manufacturer or something like that, those profits are not staying in America. Like we're getting some profits, but that money is being sent and spent overseas. And so therefore, like we're losing that money generally. And it is, there's a whole big exchange. I'm not an economist. I don't know enough about this. I think more so my feelings on it have to deal with a when you're sending that money out and you're going shopping for everything online, yes, it is more affordable. And I want to be clear, very, very clear. Looking at pet trees right now, we looked at like PetSmart and a bunch of pet companies, double the price of Amazon. Actually, double. So you're right. It is extremely affordable. We're probably going to buy one on Amazon, but that's because it is shipping out of China or Thailand. And that's why it is so much cheaper as opposed to what we get here. And there's a big whole issue. I'm not an economist. I can't do any of that.
Yeah. We're going to go ahead and put Mel's question up here on the board
Yeah.
for us. Based off what Jordan has said, how do you think small business owners can compete with Amazon, especially if they are more niche? I want to say this. I think it's next to impossible for small business owners to compete with Amazon unless they are niche. That is
Yeah.
the only thing that I think can compete. You have to be able to provide something that, like, just an online retailer, big box Amazon can't provide. Be it personalized items, which, truth be told, Amazon can even do personalized things. I was talking to you. I got like a customized coat hanger for my sister-in-law who just like got her doctorate and like wears her lab coat now that says doctor, her name on it.
Hmm.
I also ordered a blanket for them that has like their wedding photo on it as like their blanket.
Hmm.
Like you can do custom on Amazon, so like that niche window is even closing. So like those, like, I don't know what are some like Shutterstock, or not Shutterstock, that's bad, that's not it. There's a what was that brand? There was an online store you used to be able to go to where you could order like custom everything, and there's a billion of them now, I'm
Oh, there's
sure.
a billion of it's screen printing everything at this point. And
Yeah.
the thing is, I'm here for things generally getting to be cheaper and easier to produce and all of that. My issue is that it comes at the expense of, people having jobs and, fulfillment and stuff like that. So we talk about like AI slop as an example. We just have a bunch of AI slop getting made. People are making a bunch of crap. So people who are actually creative are suffering. So, for example, I was watching John Oliver. Have you ever watched John Oliver?
A little bit.
I love John Oliver. Highly recommend. Very funny guy. But he was doing a segment on AI slop, and one of the people that he was talking about was a chainsaw artist. So it was a chainsaw artist who made a bunch of really cool wood sculptures, and AI basically took all of his wooden sculptures and used it to create their own. And so there's just a bunch of AI slop of wooden sculptures that don't actually exist based on this guy's work. And that's interesting to me because those AI sculptures aren't real. We could probably 3D print them, but you're not going to get that exact same product. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like there is that similarity being lost. Like, for example, you can use AI art to make music. We've used it because we're not musicians. You can use AI to make images and thumbnails and everything at this point if you're not an artist. And I think that almost just degrades the value of it, because when you get an actual artist's work, it's like, I want the artist's work. Like, you do want that extra push,
Yeah.
that
I think
extra notoriety for it.
there's a lot of like mindset that goes into like determining that, because it's like some people could view it as, oh, now an artist's work doesn't matter as much, it's less valuable because you could just go AI print that off. But then also there's, to the opposite degree, you could be like, no, this just makes like true genuine art that much more rare, and that is upping the value of it,
Well, and
you know.
it's the idea of also, how are you going to be able to tell what's real, what's not real? There's that whole argument, which we don't necessarily need to get into. But I do want to touch on this because, have you ever used Etsy?
I think I've ordered one thing off Etsy, maybe ever.
So we had a question. Do you think Etsy does better with personalization for gifts than Amazon during the holidays? Most Etsy products also come from smaller business owners. I've ordered quite a few different things on Etsy, mainly cat collars, because you can get custom handmade leather cat collars with like engraved, metal
Yeah.
plates and stuff like that. Very nice. Um, and they are straight out of small business owners. When I ordered from someone who was like in Ukraine, and she like had her own little business, and that was her thing. And so I want to say I felt better vibes, like this is feeling more than anything else, buying from that person than I would feel buying from a PetSmart. Even though I think I could go to PetSmart, buy a leather collar, and it would be a little bit cheaper. I don't think it would be as personalized, but at this point, they probably could personalize it just the exact same way, 3D print the whatever engraving and have a machine do the whole thing. But I feel like you lose something, and that's literally just a feeling. I don't know how else to quantify that other
Like,
than like it's an unease that I feel.
I mean, I think there's like a whole vibe that, like a whole, I don't know, it's almost like an aura from something that you get where it's like handcrafted. You can look at it and tell, versus something that's like been just pumped out by a machine. Like
Yeah,
there's too much order to that. Everything is like so perfect. Whereas like you look at something that's handcrafted and you can see the little imperfections, and that's what adds a bit of like uniqueness to it.
yeah. Well, and it's, I think for small businesses, and we talk about this as Good Rep Media quite a bit, honesty and authenticity is really, really huge for your brand.
Hmm.
Part of being honest and authentic is not being perfect. Um, and I think not being perfect is honestly a big step up. I know, so I've touched on this a few different times. I have my own private YouTube channel that I've been working on, very small, not anything, whatever. But when I started working on it, I started making thumbnails for the first time. And I remember showing them off, and you were like, "Oh, let me try this, let me do this. Here's some ideas and here's some thought process." And I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm here for the feedback. I don't want your help though. Like, I want the feedback. I want to hear what you have to say. I don't want you to do it,
Right.
because I want to do my thing, even if it's not good, even if it could be better.
Yeah.
I want to do it because it's me. And that's
Yeah.
it's like a pride thing, it's an ego thing for sure, but it's also a authenticity. Hey, I did that thing. That wasn't AI that did it. That wasn't, that wasn't my friend that I'm paying who has graphic design experience. That wasn't my, some client that we're exchanging work with. Those are all cool scenarios, but it's a me thing. And that's like an authentic Cody Lee Anderson experience. And I think that matters.
Yeah. No, I agree. Um, there's the when someone uses like someone else or AI or anything like that takes away from them doing it themselves, like when someone cuts corners, it almost feels lazy. And so like it takes away, like, why would I watch this person who is cutting corners? You want to watch someone
Yeah.
who like does the thing, does all the steps themselves.
Yeah. Well, and I want to also be clear because there's a collaboration. This podcast is not just me. This podcast is not even just me and you. This podcast is me, you, the good rep team that does all of this stuff behind the scenes. It's Mel who's doing all of the production and making sure that our questions get asked and keep us on point. It's Sam doing all of the socials. It's Emily doing the thumbnails. Like we've got a production kind of team that comes together for this. And I don't want to discount that by calling it inauthentic. I just want to say it's a different feel.
Yeah.
Because when you come to Good Rep, you don't want John, who knew SEO and is working out of his basement. You come to Good Rep for the team because we have a bunch of people who are experienced and can do this correctly for your brand. And that's a little bit different than when you are a brand reaching out to a one on one customer and you're like, hey, if you're the massage therapist, if you're the lawn care guy, you don't need to know marketing. And when you don't know marketing and when you're not good at all of those things, it almost comes across more authentic, better, like more real for me. And it helps sell you because
Yeah.
I don't know any plumber who's come in and like worked on my stuff and been like, yeah, now let me upsell you on why you need this new sink. And like, that's not how it works. They fix your thing and they're like, okay, fix it. Keep an eye on this. And you should be good here, and maybe they do try to hit you with an upsell, but it's because the company told them to.
As a bath manufacturer salesman, I can tell you they'll try and sell you on a whole new bathroom every
But
time we go in
the
there.
plumbers will.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh,
Well, so the sales team should be in there with plumbing experience at the time of everything being decided on. They should be trying to upsell you on the toilet and the
mhm.
sink.
Yeah, but it's, for example, like if I call the lawn care guys over and they come out and they quote me, so the person who quotes me, yeah, maybe their job is to upsell me or whatever. But when the lawn care guys come and we've settled the deal and they come and do the job, those guys aren't going to be sitting there and trying to upsell you. Those
No.
guys are doing a job and they're there to do the thing. And I can respect that. I
If
respect that they're not there to
if
upsell me.
if you hint around those plumbers that, like, man, I'm thinking about doing this sink soon too, or something like that, those plumbers will probably try to like be like, well, we could like talk to our guy and we might be able to get that, because they'll probably get a little kickback on that. They'll probably get something back to them from it.
You think? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't be surprised. I know much less about these types of industries than I suppose you do.
Yeah. Like, again, like, so at least in my experience there, it was like if you led to a sale, like if you were in my position as like the marketer, you got like 10% off the sale. If you weren't the marketer but you just worked for the company and you still got a lead that got a sale, that would be a 20%. Like, just so like on your free time you just recommended somebody, which I feel like that would have counted, because that would have been maybe that would have only counted for the 10%, because like you were technically working and sold it, but you still were responsible for a sale being made.
Yeah. But I do, okay. I want to bring this back because I just saw. So if Etsy can't compete with Amazon, what do you think could be done better? And I do want to get the comparison of Etsy and Amazon because Amazon, I think, is a bigger Etsy, a much bigger Etsy, and there's a lot less protections than anything on there. Because Amazon lists individual sellers, you get Amazon approved, and it's the same thing as Etsy. Now, Etsy is very focused on like crafts, and I've not done much on Etsy outside of dog collars or cat collars, I'll be honest. But I do think that in general, Etsy's really good at setting up local shops, is like almost Pinterest boards. Whereas on Amazon, I'm searching through every shop and I don't really care what individual person I'm shopping for. Like if I'm searching for jeans, I'm gonna go find Levi's on Amazon, sure. But if I'm just searching for cat trees, I don't have a preference for brand. I'm
Yeah.
not going to any individual stores. Now, when I'm on Etsy and I started looking for, hey, I'm looking for cat collars, I found specific stores that targeted cats or leather work because there were, full storefronts. It was the whole thing that this person did. And it showed me that there was a person that was doing this work and that they cared about cats because their whole store was cat collars and like leather toys for cats. And that was exactly what I wanted. So in that instance, I think Etsy sets itself apart as being almost like a better storefront. Come set up your Etsy store. It's like you set up your Shopify store, set up your Etsy store. Amazon is a lot less individualized, a lot more conglomerate.
I view Amazon like a Walmart and Etsy like a family fair.
That's a good comparison. I'm kind of here for that. I mean,
Family fair is a little bit more in-house stuff. Like it's like these are the things we make to sell you guys. Like it's less like big name, big brand stuff. Where like I get Etsy is like this is stuff our consumers make or our people are making and selling. You're not buying stuff from like big box. Like you're not buying Captain Crunch from us. I get you're not probably getting groceries off Etsy at all, but like
can you get groceries on Etsy? I don't
I
think
don't
you
know.
can.
I'm not an Etsy guy. I like I said, I've maybe ordered one thing. Like to me, Etsy is like 100% like handcrafted things, and I get that that's not necessarily the case, but like that's my view of Etsy, and so
Mhm.
I picture like the more like from the local farms to family fare kind of being like the more Etsy style, like if you were to compare it in a scale of groceries, like if you were to look at
Yeah. Well, I don't think Etsy does any food or anything like that, but
again,
Etsy's a lot more of
I'm
like,
not trying to say
yeah.
that they do. I'm just, if you were to compare it to a grocery industry, these would be like the comparisons I'd make.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it much more like I'm trying to think of like local brand clothes or anything like that. We don't have very many like local shops. Like
Nothing
there's
like
a couple of like local resale shops and stuff like that where it's a lot more um like Uptown Cheapskate is one of them where it's like a resale shop. It's like a Goodwill
yeah,
almost where people come in and they'll sell their old stuff and it'll be resold. Almost like that, but people are buying old stuff, repurposing it or like upselling it or upskilling it. So for example, I know one of the industries that popped up during COVID for a long time was professional shoppers who would go out and they would basically thrift shop and then thrift outfits and sell thrifted outfits. So they'd be like, hey, if you are a size 7, this would fit for you. And here's the full fit. And this will cost you $70. And they got the whole thing for,
30,
12.80 at
40.
Goodwill.
Yeah,
And that's their profit is they put together these outfits
that's really cool.
based.
I like
Yeah,
that.
like that's a whole little side hustle for fashionistas and stuff like that.
The Threadby subscription, but it's all just like secondhand shop clothing.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it is.
Just like a mystery box of like these are clothing we think you'd like, and it's just like what the fuck is it? This is a used T-shirt from Goodwill.
Well, and it's so there was a whole industry there as well, and I'm not a fashion guy, but I do know that you can hire like shoppers for yourself. So
Yeah,
like if you want to look fashionable but you don't know how, you can give your measurements, hire someone to go shopping for you and they'll just shop for you. They'll be like, "Okay, great. Well, I'm going to go do a shopping trip and we'll come back and I spent $400. You owe me, whatever the upcharge is, 20% of what was spent." I don't know how they calculate their profits, but it's definitely something that is out there and doable. But when I think of random small business ideas that compare to Amazon, I think that's a lot more of like a side hustle type deal.
yeah.
Now, continuing on, Etsy does do food apparently, which is super cool,
Yeah,
like
as
baked
soon as you
goods.
said that, I feel like I remember seeing like dessert. It's almost like bake sale stuff. Like I remember seeing things like my mom, I think, has ordered like a jar of like it's like cookie in a jar, basically, where it was like all
Mm,
the stuff that you would need to like you just take it, add water, mix it up, and then you got like your dough made, basically. I think
Yeah.
he's ordered stuff like that from Etsy before, so that does make sense.
I've seen a lot of different stuff like that, and I think those are really good ideas. Like Mel in the comments here, it is like ordering from a bakery, but through Etsy, which I think a lot of at-home bakeries are using as another channel for sales. I think that's something worth noting, and I want to touch on that last idea, another channel for sales. That's huge. If you are doing an online retail, if you're working an Etsy shop, I'm thinking of Ren Fair artists. I'm thinking of leatherworks, goods, anything like that. If you're providing any type of good that you're selling online, this includes even 3D printed stuff. Even though if you're sitting there reselling and selling 3D printed, designs that you're grabbing offline, a little bit less here for that. Make your own designs. Go.
There's a lot of work that goes into 3D printing. Like I've looked at like custom 3D printed Funko Pops.
Hmm.
Like it's not just like I buy a file off the internet, I put it into my printer and it prints it off and it's done. Like there's a lot of like sanding, clipping. You have to like reconnect the parts, glue them together. You have to paint. That's the part where I was out. I was like, I'm not gonna paint it. It's not gonna look good. You know, like
Which I will say, I had this same conversation with someone in a one of my gaming discords where they shared a mask that they had made. It was one of like the broken Kuroniko masks or something like
yeah,
that, from Demon Slayer,
yeah,
and it looked really cool. I was like, oh my gosh, this is really well done. And the person came back and they were like, well, don't be too whatever. I just found the file online and 3D printed it and then I painted it. And I was like, yo, man, buying a 3D printer, teaching yourself how to use it, using it, and then going through the effort of making the thing, painting it, like that is a process. It's something to be proud of. It's not nothing.
yeah,
It's not prompting an AI with a couple of sentences and then copy and pasting it into Facebook and being like, I'm an artist. That's not the same thing. You're putting
yeah,
in work and effort, you're putting in energy. And I do think that work and energy that you're putting in is valuable, even though, hey, you're like front loading it. It's like when they tell you, why are doctors paid so much? They spent 30 minutes telling me to eat better and get more exercise. They don't deserve that. It's because they went to fucking school for so long to be able to tell you of every other issue that might possibly come up. Like, ugh,
uh,
come on now.
hey, I went to college too. All right.
We are the same, okay? Come
Yeah.
on, Doc. Oh my goodness. So, with that said, do you think Amazon is ruining Christmas? You don't. You
No.
would argue that Amazon is helping Christmas by
Yeah.
keeping things affordable and cheap.
Yeah. Because like the majority of people, like even if like we bought a bunch of things locally, like I'd say I don't have numbers to back this up, but the majority of people still aren't benefiting from that. Yes, some people do, and that does probably make their Christmas. But I think more people benefit from having an affordable holiday. You know, from being able to afford it and get gifts for people.
Yeah.
Because like I
So
worked at
then,
Meijer, it wasn't like if someone didn't go shop at Meijer, like if they went and bought from Amazon, I wasn't getting my paycheck still. You
no.
know, like
But did you? So when you were working at Meyer, did you ever watch any of the numbers of like store visits and stuff like that? Was that anything you ever had any?
I didn't like actively watch it myself. Every quarter we would have like a meeting where they would tell us like our sales and stuff, like our profit. But
Mm. So when I was never very involved, but when I worked at Arby's, which was my first ever job, background lore for Cody here. My first ever job was working my first ever job. We talked about this before, and I've worked on a farm from the age I was like 10, so I don't think
yeah,
that counts. This was my first
right.
W-2 job at
Yeah,
Arby's.
exactly. Your first government job, first job the government has seen.
It's like I don't want to misrepresent it and be like I've worked all my life, but I 100% was being paid like $50 a day to work on a farm from the time I was 10 until the time I was working at Arby's.
Yeah,
Uh anyways, working at Arby's, I remember getting daily visit goals and numbers on how many customers we have daily. And I worked at that Arby's for about 3 years. And over those 3 years, we grew a lot. And I'll be real, it's because the general manager at that Arby's was amazing. She was being trained to be the regional manager. And I want to say she's the regional manager for every Arby's in like the entire Midwest at this point. Like she was brought in for a high end job and she
yeah,
was phenomenal. But I remember watching those numbers grow and talking with her about it, because she would always discuss these things with me, kind of explaining, hey, this is why we do this. This is what's going on. And so she would explain, okay, so we're increasing numbers. I'm seeing right now this week compared to this week last year, we're doing 20% better. Last week we were doing 20% better. Week before that we were doing 19%. Week before that we were 18%. And she's like, so this whole year we've gone up and we're consistently getting better at a rate of 5% over the past whatever, 6 months. And that 5% increase of daily visitors means that I need to staff one more person every single lunch period for this next month. And so she had to up how many people she was working. She had to hire more people. And that's how they make those hiring and firing decisions, is based on those metrics. So when it comes to holiday spending and you see something on LinkedIn, you see something on any of your news sources that talk about, hey, Walmart is referring to holiday spending being down this amount, you're going to see in February, March, April, Walmart is firing 1,000 store workers because their numbers for the holiday were down. The same exact thing for every single business out there. They have those numbers. They're going to go back as far as they can. Now, the larger you are, if you're Amazon, you have more numbers. If you're Walmart and you're Meijer, you have better numbers. If you're Arby's, you have better numbers. If you're a small business, you don't have those numbers. If you're a small business, you're a two-person shop running a card shop, you don't have more numbers. You're not hiring a new person for holiday help. You're doing it based on, okay, I need someone to do this job. Can I hopefully afford that? You're not doing it based on how many people are actually through the door. Or maybe you are, but those numbers are, okay, 10 people came here yesterday compared to a year ago, 9 people came in. So like, great. It's just a little bit more nuanced when you get a little bit lower. And so when you talk about those sales, okay, you go to Amazon, it doesn't affect me at Meijer. It does. It 100% does. Because the more people buy on Amazon, less people buy in your city, less people are going to have for projections. At least that's how I see it. Is that crazy? My
Yes,
conspiracy tinfoil hat?
you are correct, but like I don't think like I worked 5 years at Meyer. It
Mhm.
wasn't like immediately after Christmas. I saw like all of my coworkers get fired.
No,
You,
no, no, no,
you
no.
know,
It's
like,
also, yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't doom and gloom it, because I'll be real. It's not like a, hey, everyone gets fired.
yeah, like I can see like the situation like that you painted there, the scenario being real. Like, yeah, there probably are times where like Amazon is kind of forcing bigger places to kind of, or even smaller places than smaller than Amazon places to lose their employees. But I just don't think it's at the scale. Like Christmas is just like a portion of the year. And while, yeah, for retail, it's like the biggest portion of the year, it is still just a portion of the year. And so
Yeah.
I like, I don't know. I think that most of these places could sustain through it, even through Amazon doing its thing. I don't know.
See,
Maybe I'm wrong. I'm also not an economist here.
yeah, I was like, we're not economists, so I'm putting forward hypotheticals and talking about ideas mainly because I think these are things that people need to think about and talk about a little bit more. Because, yeah, you can say things on Amazon are cheaper, and that's awesome, but if you look at it from like where I'm kind of sitting, think of a hobby shop right now. So if you ran a hobby shop, I want to say Galactic, but Galactic is kind of a chain. And I know they have a couple of
Yeah.
locations. But we'll use that as an example. Say they have 4 different locations. Out of their 4 locations, they have 20 people that work at each location. And holidays probably make up, like that month of December, probably make up a quarter of their whole profits for the whole year. So if that quarter, instead of people going into Galactic and buying anything from Galactic, it stays the exact same. It doesn't ramp up because everyone who ramped up wants to buy Gundam and paints and, cards. Instead, they're buying them on Amazon or online, which a lot of these retailers are doing these hobby things online. And you're also able to, like you said, get them kind of cheaper. Similar to, I always imagine it like state liquor laws, where you see where the lowest state possible price for liquor. Amazon is able to offer the lowest possible price on everything
Yeah.
because they're the largest retailer. Now, when you have that Galactic Toys with 20 employees, they don't ramp up, they lose a quarter of their profits. Say they go down 10-20% in profits. After that, are they going to be able to keep all 80 people, 20 people per store, or are they going to have to downsize a little bit because they didn't make as much money? That's where I'm worried about, because that small business of 80 people working there is going to be impacted by that.
Yeah.
They
Oh, yeah.
are losing a lot of money. And I that's a complete hypothetical. I don't know how big Galactic is. I don't know their actual numbers or employee counts or anything like that. But that's maybe a more realistic scenario than talking about Meyer firing everyone,
Yeah.
because I'm sure Meyer has holiday workers too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I know that's a general thing. A lot of people do holiday workers, and I mean,
I've
gig
done
work,
holiday
holiday
work.
work is
I did holiday
interesting.
work at JCPenney.
Yeah. Which I did holiday work at GameStop. I think holiday work is pretty universally a thing to experience as a teen or
Yeah.
young adult.
Yeah. Holiday work is um, like a teenager's first job experience a lot of the time because it's just something that's so easy to get into and isn't like a long-term commitment.
Well, and it's also when you get hired for those short-term seasonal jobs, you are not expected to do everything for the job.
Right.
Like, it's almost like you're hired as an intern and you are hired for specific tasks. And it's not, hey, like when you got hired at JCPenney, did you get access to the computers at all, or were you folding tables?
Yeah, no, like so what I was about to
Okay.
say is like I kind of disagree, at least in my experience.
Hmm.
I felt like I was just as much an employee as the people who had been there for a while, honestly. Like by
Oh,
the
yeah.
end of it, by the end of the time, like right away, I was given access to the computer. I had an account to get iCaps, like their credit card and stuff like
Hmm.
that. Yeah, I felt like I was an employee. I thought I was going to be there longer than the holiday, but then I wasn't. But
Yeah, they normally, that's one of the things, is they'll keep one or two people on sometimes,
if they're
sometimes
really
not.
good workers.
Yeah.
But we've
And
talked about this literally yesterday on the pod. During that phase of my life, I wouldn't have considered myself a good worker.
which, I mean, hey,
I'm just getting there.
being able to acknowledge that more than anything should tell you that you're in a different stage of life.
Yeah.
And I think that's the important thing. I little digression here. I have so much respect and like heart and empathy for someone who can acknowledge their faults and their shortcomings and work on those things.
I've always
I
said I am nothing if not self-aware. I think it's my biggest strength.
and I think it's an extreme skill. You need to be able to say, "Hey, I messed up." I call it checking the ego at the door. Like when we come together for projects at work, I don't want you to come with heart in the game. I don't want you to come and think that this project is your baby and if we change anything it's going to be broken. I don't want you to be, over invested, but I also want you to be invested and care enough. So
Yeah.
it's a fine line to walk. Little
Let's jump
digression there.
back over to our questions really quick. Sorry
Yeah, I
to
was gonna say.
completely jump from that. We have two questions here from Good Rep Us, but I'm going to jump up. We did miss one from Mel up here. What do
Ooh.
you think would have to change for you to not want to do your holiday shopping on Amazon other than the prices? Tough one to
Ooh.
answer because pretty much the only thing that keeps me shopping on Amazon is the prices, maybe the convenience. Like the Amazon app is very convenient. The shipping, like the timing is like very convenient. But also for Christmas gift shopping, I don't need next day delivery. Like
Yeah.
as long as I'm not ordering it the day before.
Yeah. The ease, and I think that's what Amazon does really well. And that's what, I mean, in general, being online does really well. We've gotten to the point at this juncture of being human that we know how to optimize websites, we know how to optimize sales funnels, we know how to get rid of the friction between you first looking at a product and you buying that product. And that friction is how many clicks, how many different screens do they have to look at, how much information do they need to take in. You know what Amazon does? Oh, buy with one click. You know what else Amazon does? It saves all of your information in the account, saves multiple cards, saves multiple addresses, real easy to update, real easy to keep all of that information saved, because they created the quickest, easiest, most simple checkout process that you can possibly do. And now everyone knows it. Everyone knows how to check out on Amazon. Everyone knows how to add a card, remove a card. There's the credit card upsell that's not too obtrusive, but it tells you how much you could save every single time. It's a really, really nice checkout system. And so, what I would need to move away from Amazon for Christmas purchases, because I want to be clear, I'm going to use Amazon.
Right.
I will. I already
Make sure
have.
you use this really nice website that I found called mygiftprompt.com.
I actually, fun fact, I have a we'll show it on screen,
Oh, my
mygiftprompt.com,
man, my man.
just for a little bit. But with that said, what I would need to not be shopping on Amazon would be a local shop that has options and things that I would want. And it has them relatively affordably, and it has them hopefully all in one little area. If it's like I imagine a mall. Malls are always like, "Oh, you wanna have a great mall." Malls are dying because all of the shops in them are overpriced. All of the food options that you get at a mall is awful because malls need to make all this money and they're huge sunk cost fallacy pits of awfulness. But I want an affordable mall. And I'll be real, Jordan, have you ever been to Tanger?
I've not been to Tanger. I've been near Tanger, but never actually gone to it.
I Tanger is another one that I highly, highly recommend. So Tanger Outlet Mall is an outlet mall. It has a bunch of outlet stores that are like basically factory. So it's an Adidas factory store, a Nike factory store.
Yeah, like warehouse stores.
Yeah, warehouses basically. So it has all of their stuff, but for cheaper prices. It's outside, which kind of sucks in the winter, but also kind of rocks in the summer. And there's a bunch of random restaurants around. You go, you park there, and you walk around this outside little mall like area with a bunch of different warehouse stores, has a bunch of cheap shit, and it's nice. So you know what I do? I'm gonna go to Tanger and I'm gonna buy some of my Christmas presents. It's primarily a clothing outlet,
Yeah.
so that's the one hang up. There are hobby shops, gift shops. There's always like the K-pop, store or whatever.
I would that could surprise me. I wouldn't have thought a K-pop store would have made it into into Tanger.
Yeah, well, and it's kind of fascinating. So some of those shops are a little bit more overpriced, but I do think it is really, really badly the pricing. It needs to be somewhat affordable. I'm willing to pay more for local. I 100% I am willing to pay a little bit more for local, but not that much. Not as much as people want you to.
I want to jump over it. It looks like we got some more questions coming from the Good Rep account.
Let's do
How
it.
can small businesses compete with Amazon when they have employees and low margins to work with? The sad, ultimately true answer is they can't.
Yeah, you're not
Unless they
competing.
grow, unless they somehow grow overnight to the size of Amazon, that is something that you are not going to be able to compete with. The only way, and we kind of answered this a little bit earlier with one of Mel's questions, if you have something niche that Amazon cannot provide, that is the only way. And that's not really beating Amazon, that's more subverting Amazon.
And it's worth noting, even subverting Amazon is worth it. You need to be able to offer something new and different. So, my immediate go-to is Amazon can't mow your lawn, Amazon can't give you a massage, Amazon can't set you up to play a card game against someone else. So, find something that Amazon can't do. Find an experience that you can do. Puff and paint, drink and paint. Those are phenomenal ideas. If you have a space, you can do. I saw actually a boutique of like a wedding boutique did a come try on our dresses and drink wine for $50. Is it? You pay us $50 and you can come for a couple of hours, try on wedding dresses and drink wine with your friends. Is it?
Oh, yeah, a boutique. I was thinking like a venue, and I was like, that's
Oh
so
no, no, no,
weird.
no, no.
Like they just have a
Like
bunch
a
of dresses. Like did the brides just not want them anymore, and they donated them? And then I was like, and what? You're just hanging out in dresses? Like, oh, you're trying on dresses for your wedding.
yeah.
Got it.
Well, and so there's that. There's also similar vein, but if you run any type of this is Ren Fair again. I'm such a huge nerd, so I always come back to the nerdy shit. If you're a leather shop or you make anything related to Ren Fair, they do the same thing. Come try on all of our leathers and take pictures for $50. You drink mead and you can put on full knight armor and take pictures. Great experience. It's a cool thing because you know who's going to do that? It's going to be a girl buys that for her boyfriend. Some nerd friends who have a role playing collective are going to get together and be like, "Hey, let's go take some pictures and
Yeah,
make like a holiday card," because that's cool experience related stuff that people can't normally do. And
yeah.
so setting those types of things up, massage therapy, we have a massage therapist client. I've always pushed the idea of, hey, why don't you do like a couples class where you have a bunch of couples come in and you're like, hey, I'm going to teach you how to do a couple of simple and easy massage therapy techniques on your partner. and they pay you for a little class, and they can test out a massage therapy technique on their partner. Like, that's a really cool little thing to do. And now, I'm not Universal. I don't know all of these businesses. I'm sure there's legalities and things you need to figure out for all of this. But think outside the box.
Yeah.
Like you said, subvert Amazon. Do something they can't, because you do have the ability to do something.
And do it quick, because I bet in the next 5 years Amazon will do it. Like, what, I don't care what it is. 5 to 10 years from now, Amazon will do it.
I was gonna say, Amazon's got puff and paints on the way. I'm sorry.
There's not no Amazon.com/services right now where it's like, oh, do you need someone to come cut your grass? And then they just kind of like affiliate it out, you know, or like, like it's gonna happen. It's going to happen eventually. They just haven't gotten to that branch yet.
I wonder if there's a reason why they haven't.
Like,
Because
it's just like their deliveries. They outsource their deliveries to other, like you know, like not all Amazon delivery trucks are employed by Amazon. They just outsource it to somewhere.
Which, I mean, yeah, if Amazon wanted to build out a network of like,
it would be
general contractors and massage therapists and lawn mowing companies across the United States.
They would just have to like make an ad for it and be like, apply with your business, you know, and then like you could go put your business down into it to join their network. Like, people would flock to it.
So the thing is, we're talking about this. There's a reason they haven't done it, and it's probably like antitrust or something like that.
I feel like there's an Amazon lead gen just waiting to happen.
I'm like, I hope we're not talking about this and then Amazon announces Amazon services tomorrow, because when that happens, I want this clip.
Sam,
because
clip it, get it on the internet today. We need it on the internet now.
I'm like anxious. Bezos is gonna beat us to the idea, brother.
Bezos is watching right now himself. Bezos is just jotting it down like, these fucking geniuses, dude.
He's like,
he's not even gonna hire us.
I knew we needed good rep. I knew we needed good rep media. You do, Amazon. We're right here.
Bezos actually started Amazon based off an idea he heard from a podcast. I think podcasts were a thing.
A podcast, and then okay, that took this step. Okay. Could Amazon be taking these starter jobs for teenagers as all Christmas shopping moves online? 100%. Teenagers are already struggling for jobs because adults are taking all of the jobs that we need, because we're getting kicked out of all the high profile jobs that AI is stealing. It sucks, man. Like, I'll be real. I'm looking at, if I ever lost this job, I would go take some teen's job immediately, and like, it would be no question. But the issue that happens is a lot of people are aging into jobs that no longer exist. So there are a lot of people in their 40s, 50s, 60s who are in positions where they are not functional anymore. Their job description doesn't exist. Think of we have a graphic designer, but with the amount of graphic design we do, we should probably have a team of 3 or 4 people. If AI didn't exist, we would, but we don't.
Mm-hmm.
We have AI. AI exists.
Yeah.
So we're able to do that. Think of all of those graphic designers who have lost their job and are now doing other things. I think of every musician I know who's also a bartender and a server out there. That's not necessarily taking those seasonal jobs from people, but it is people with immense skills that are not teenagers doing jobs that primarily would be teenagers.
Next question after that. Tanger is awesome. Are outlet malls the key to beating the Amazon giant? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think outlet malls are probably the next thing to go. I think Amazon is working on like putting those under its boot.
I'm so far, I don't even know how to say this without it sounding terribly, terribly off-putting, but I'm in the mindset of Amazon's going to keep growing until it collapses under the weight of itself. It's going to try to pump people for as much money as it can, and it's going to need to continue to show growth forever. And it turns out, as capitalism is finding out, things cannot grow perpetually. And so, as an example, and this is a little divergent here, but you remember The Big Short, the guy who did The Big Short? I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Wait, I'm sorry, say it again. I was reading the comments.
He talked about the economist who talked about shorting the housing market in 2008.
Oh,
Big Short.
Oh, yeah. Michael Scott. Why am I drawing a blank on the actor's name? I get that's not the person that you're referring to, but he played him in The Big Short, right?
I don't remember.
I don't even know if he played that guy. Oh my god,
Well,
I'm getting stressed now because I can't remember the actor who plays Michael Scott's real name. Steve
I
Carell.
dang. Boom. Well, anyways, so the Big Short guy came out talking about data centers and stuff like that, and he got into this idea of depreciating values. And this is, I think, very interesting to get into because this is where I think companies are setting themselves up for failure. I think Amazon is a part of this. I don't, again, not economist, not my whole thing here, but let me just spell this out for you.
Michael
So,
Burry.
Michael Burry. Yeah. But okay, so data centers right now. All of our AI infrastructure that's being built up, all this money that's being pumped into AI infrastructure is being spent on these data centers with these chips. When you have physical assets as a business, those physical assets depreciate over time. They are worth less and less year after year. You buy a brand new iPhone, your brand new iPhone next year is worth less than it is, the previous year. It's going to
Mhm.
go down in value until it is no longer usable. Now, how do companies talk about their depreciative assets? Chips. These chips are going to degrade over time. Right now, companies like Nvidia are saying that these chips degrade over 6 years. So what they plan on is if a chip costs $100, over 6 years, it's going to depreciate until it's worth zero after 6 years. So what they do is they mark those losses as 1/6 of 100. If we do, let's do 120 so the math is easy. After 1 year, it's worth $20 less. So that's $20 of loss per chip every single year. Now, what Michael Burry is saying is that the depreciation of these chips is actually 3 years. So instead of $20 in depreciation every year per chip, it should be 40. And so Nvidia is supposed to be losing twice as much money as it is based on these chip prices. And there's a bunch of other economics, there's a bunch of other shit that goes into it, but it's this idea of they're fudging the numbers and they're fudging the numbers on physical assets that are going to depreciate. So you can compare this idea to Amazon web hosting. You can compare this idea to all of Amazon's infrastructure because if you use AWS, if you use any of this hosting software, they've got physical locations, they've got physical servers, they've got all this physical infrastructure that exists, including vans, delivery, they've got warehouses, they've got offices, they've got all these different structures that are depreciating in value and they're only expanding. So I'm curious if all of that is able to continue to expand, continue to make money, or if over time it is going to depreciate and eventually collapse under the weight of its own capitalistic mess.
Gotcha.
Not to tinfoil hat
I
again.
want to hurry up and say it wasn't it it wasn't God damn it, I just said the name. Not Michael Scott. It wasn't him, it was Christian Bale in The Big Short.
Oh. See, I'm
Dude, that's
awful
why we
at
got
names,
Melanie
man.
here. That's why we have Melanie.
Honestly, I'm here for it. It is extremely helpful. But I almost feel like I need to apologize because I feel like I put my tinfoil hat on a couple of times today. Like, oh geez, man. Ugh.
No, you got a good point. I want to hurry up and jump over to one last question here.
Yeah.
It looks like if you can't beat them, how can small businesses use Amazon for their benefit? Can they sell their products on Amazon, advertise on there? Both of those last two things you said, I believe, are options. I don't know how Amazon advertisement works. I think it's got ads on it, but like normally it's does it?
Yeah, you're able to run ads. You can run sponsored ads and you can get your stuff up on Amazon. You do probably want to start an Amazon store if that's the type of business that you're running. The issue comes there are specifically Amazon agencies. There are marketing agencies who focus purely on getting Amazon listings to the top. They focus on getting reviews, they focus on optimizing listings, making sure that they're full and complete and convert best on Amazon. So, when I come to you and I talk about how Good Rep Media is here to get your small business website ranked higher on Google, if you want to show up in the number one spot on Google Maps, reach out to us here at goodrep.media. That's because we're really good at search engine optimization. We're good at Google. There are entire agencies that focus purely on Amazon and ranking on Amazon and being at the top of Amazon. So, can you sell your products on Amazon? Can you advertise on Amazon? Yeah, you 100% can. Is there a lot that goes into it? 100%. And I don't know all of that. I 100% do not consider myself skilled enough. I've not run an Amazon store. It would be interesting. Is that
Mhm.
something you'd want to do?
Run an Amazon store?
Well, like maybe not even necessarily run an Amazon store, but like start one to figure out how it worked.
Yeah, yeah, that could be interesting. I think that that'd be valuable like information to have, especially coming from like like being in a marketing firm like we are here at Good Rep. I think that having that knowledge and know-how to be able to help someone set themselves up on Amazon would be a valuable skill to be able to promote to people.
Yeah. I don't think everything belongs on Amazon. So for example, we have an esthetician client who sells Dermalogica on the side. I don't think that she should be putting her Dermalogica on Amazon. I don't think that's the same thing.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I think it's tough to sell like name brand like that Dermalogica is probably already on Amazon. Like
exactly.
the brand itself is probably on there. Nobody's going to buy it from a third party person. But like if you have something that doesn't like that you make yourself or isn't listed on Amazon, yeah, then that's a good window and opportunity to jump on it.
Yeah. And I'm curious how my main thing is I'm curious how shipping works with Amazon. I know that you need to like get items housed and stored at their warehouse. And I think you have to pay like a lot fee or a rent fee for the stuff that you get shipped and stored at the warehouses. And those are the types of questions where I would love to figure out more information. And that's where if you're creating one of those online
We
stores.
might be able to pick Sam's brain a little bit on that because Sam does have a little bit of experience at least
Cool.
on like Amazon warehousing, like you running the warehouse kind of whatever that would be considered in-house product. I don't know.
Yeah. I was going to say immediately Sam was in. We do have team members that are well versed in selling on Amazon. Maybe I'll probably pick Sam's brain about it because I do find it kind of fascinating. And this is where my, I don't know, special interest comes in because I love learning all of these things. For example, and this is maybe a little bit of a humble brag as we finish out the show here. We have our first musical artist client that we got to work with, and we just got him an artist profile. His artist profile finally showed up on Google. So when you Google his name, he has like an actual setup for an artist profile, and that's really cool. We've not done that before. We've not
Yeah.
worked with an artist, so this is a new experience.
Yeah, it
And
was
I
funny.
love that.
Like we got it up there, and then like I was even like, oh, I didn't think that that was gonna happen. That's really cool. Yeah, no, that was exciting to see.
It's cool. I
And
love finding new
his
things.
music's on Amazon, right?
Yeah, his
Yeah, I think
music's on
that's where he
Amazon.
hosts his music, is Amazon Music, right?
Yeah. Well, he hosted on that and Apple. He does the whole like
Or does he
distribute all
do everything?
across.
For some reason, I thought like at least originally he was like when we took on, he was just on one spot.
No, he's there and he's on Apple. He's a little bit of an older client and he wanted to take his stuff off of Spotify because people could play it and he wasn't getting paid for the plays. But Spotify, he was only getting like 5,000 streams or something a year. So it was like next to nothing for him. All of his stuff comes from Amazon and Apple. But
Does he not? Does sorry? Does Apple's platform not pay out in like pretty much the same way that Spotify's does?
he on Apple and Amazon, they're both prepay. So you have to buy the songs. It is not just
Oh,
free to
okay,
stream.
gotcha. Because I know you can do Apple Music that works like Spotify does, so I
Yeah,
wasn't sure.
and I do know you can do like a subscription for Apple Music and stuff like
There.
that too, which I think this is a little bit different. But we're kind of hitting time there to reach a final conclusion. I think we're both maybe a little bit different. Jordan's over here. Amazon's not stealing Christmas, but they're trying to help.
I need more people to order their Christmas gifts off Amazon, but do so by going through this link that's about to appear down here at the bottom. We're not plugging Good Rep today. We're plugging this website right here,
We're plugging my
mygiftprompt.com.
gift prompt so we can
AI
get
powered
API
gift
access.
ideas. Hop on there, be like, hey, I want to spend $30 on a gift for my 95-year-old grandma. She enjoys knitting and the Detroit Lions. Awesome, grandma. And it'll come up. It'll be like, oh, here's some Honolulu blue knitting stuff. I don't know, but it comes up with cool ideas. You follow that. It gives me a little kickback. I won't sit here and pretend like it doesn't, but yeah, it helps me out. Head on down to it. That's www.mygiftprompt.com. I almost said my prompt gift. That wouldn't have made any sense.
Jordan out here going full hard sellout, which I mean, hey, that's what I'm
You
about to
got
do.
to. You
Because if
got
you're new here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We are Cody Anderson and Jordan Vogel of Good Rep Media, a small business marketing agency that helps small businesses rank better on Google. We help you get customers in your door. We help you basically show up online with your online reputation intact and shining. If that's something that interests you, if you're trying to start a small business, if you are already a small business owner and looking for some help, I would love to take the chance to chat with you. If you are interested, let me grab that link for you. Schedule a meeting. Goodrep.media/chat. I offer free 30-minute consultations. If that's something that interests you, schedule down below. And I look forward to chatting with you. But hey,
wink at the camera.
what's that?
Did you just wink at the camera, or was that just like a weird blink? Is that your wink?
No, I can't. I can't wink, man.
I think you
I just got
accidentally
weird
winked at the
squinty
camera.
eyes when I smile.
I,
I got like the really bad crow's feet that are gonna show up, man.
I would have been so happy if you'd ended it with a wink at the camera.
All right, guys. You guys see you next time. But realistically, next week on the Joey Matterhorn channel at noon, we are going to be live. And what was the topic?
Things. Joey Matterhorn, staying productive during the holiday chaos.
Yeah,
Or is it the other
productive.
one? Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. That's one long one. Staying productive during the holiday chaos. How to end the year strong without burning out.
Boom. Love that. Join us next week. We'll see you then. Peace out.